In this video, I want to talk about how to get your D group started. So far, we've talked about what a D group is, why we're starting these at our church, and now we want to help you think through how do you get started? What are the next steps? And so the first step in getting started is inviting people. Who's going to be a part of your D group? And so what we often say is that community groups are one of the best places to start when thinking about inviting people. If you're part of a community group, then you probably have relationships within there. You've been able to observe people, and there may be some men or women within there that you want to invite. And so that's a great place to start. Before we even go there, how you get started is we want to encourage you to pray. As you think about your relationships within your community group or outside of it, maybe you're serving on a ministry team and have developed a relationship with another friend within Kids Servants or Mercy or International Missions or Connect. We want you to pray and say, God, would you give me wisdom on who to invite to this D group? And so after prayer, you need to think about who to invite, and then you need to invite them. And so the way that I like to encourage people to invite them is just to send an email and then set up a time to meet. And so I'll send out an email and say, hey, I just want to let you know that I am planning on starting a D group next month, and I'd love for you to be a part. I really enjoyed getting to know you. It's going to be a group of 3 to 5 guys. We're going to study the Bible together. We're going to memorize scripture. We would love to have you pray and be a part. So when we invite them, I want to invite them. B, I want to set them up with proper expectations. We'll give you a PDF in the link below, but we like to send just kind of overview that they can read what a D group is, that they know it's an 18-month commitment, that they need to commit to be able to meet every other week for at least 60 to 90 minutes. And so we want them to have expectations going into this that they know they can commit. Let's talk about what are the type of people that you should invite. So as you think about and you're praying through your relationships, are there some things you should look for in inviting people to D groups? I use the acronym called HART, H-A-R-T, to help me think through this. H stands for hungry and healthy. So by hungry, we mean we want to look for people that seem to be in a stage of life where they want to grow, where they're hungry to know God and to grow. You don't want to force someone to be a part of a D group. You don't want to guilt them to being part of a D group. You want to invite them to something that they already want to do. So that's hungry. Healthy, I mean relationally healthy. As you have seen them within a community group or other settings, are they domineering? Do they treat people with respect? Can they handle confidentiality? Now none of us are perfect, right? We're not looking for perfection. But we do want a certain level of health where a person won't come in and just dominate the whole group and create a sense of drama. So that's H. A is available. This is an 18-month commitment, 60 to 90 minutes every other week. If that person is in med school, if that person is about to have a baby, it may or may not be available, and that's okay. There's no shame in that. They may be available in the next season when another D group starts. But that's the A. We want to make sure they have the time to commit. R is relationships. You want to invite people, preferably, that you already have a relationship with. There's some sense of trust in you or relationship to you. And as I said before, that could be in a community group, that could be on a servant team, that could be through work, it could be through any relational environment. But it helps, this is not a requirement, but it helps when you know them and they know you. And then T is teachable. This goes back to healthy, but that they have exhibited that they can learn from others, including you. But they're going to The D group will work best when they have a humble attitude and willingness to learn from other people's. So that's the type of person you want to look for. Again, we're not looking for perfection, more direction, but people who want to grow, who are available, who you have a relationship with, and who have shown teachability to the degree that you have observed. So you want to invite them. We talked about that. Send an email, meet with them, talk more. And then you want to get started. You want to get your discipleship groups from me, and you want to set up your first meeting. We're going to talk about that in another video, but the first meeting with your D group is an opportunity to review expectations again, to give the books out, to kind of walk through what the assignments will look like, to schedule the rhythm of meeting. Some D groups meet every other week. Some D groups meet twice a month. Some D groups meet early in the morning. Some meet afternoons and at night. That's totally up to your discretion, but the first meeting is a great opportunity to review expectations, to share stories, and to set up a meeting time for you all to meet together. So that is a little bit about how to get your D group started.